Yuji Itadori may be the official protagonist of the series, but let's be real. We all know who the real star of Jujutsu Kaisen is. He is the abnormality, he's the teacher, he is the strongest creature alive, he is Satoru Gojo. Sensei to the main trio, Satoru had taken a vital part in the storyline from the very initiation of the tale. His strength is rivaled by none and feared by all that oppose him. And some even say that he is better than Yuji. Why, you may ask? Well, we're here to answer that very question. Welcome back to Anime Soreio. Before we begin, please take a moment to drop us a like and subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell to be notified of any latest uploads. Well, with that out of the way, let's dive into the life of Satoru Gojo and see how he's a better protagonist than Yuji Itadori. It all began on December 7, 1989. It was the day when the balance of power was altered forever. An anomaly took birth that day. For after 400 years, a child was born that had inherited both the limitless and the six eyes techniques. This made Gojo a potential threat to anyone who feared what he could do with such power. Thus, bounties were placed by the heads of evil organizations to end his existence. Obviously, none could best him. This limitless power, no pun intended, came with its side effects. Having no one that could best him, a sense of superiority developed in Gojo, one that led him to believe himself to be better than normal humans. These powerless beings were nothing compared to his strength. Luckily, he had a friend who kept this complex from getting out of hand. He was Suguru Geto. This trio, consisting of Gojo, Geto, and a female sorceress named Shoko, proved the best team in Jujutsu High. One day, following a successful rescue mission, both Gojo and Geto sat in a classroom, discussing what it meant to have power. Geto was a kind soul, believing that the strong were born strong to help the ones who weren't. On the contrary, Gojo believed otherwise. For him, a non-sorcerer was equal to a peasant. This difference in opinions would pit the two strong sorcerers against each other. Luckily, Principal Masamichi Yaga stepped in, for he had a very important mission for the two. This task required for them to escort a very important girl, Riko Amanai, and deliver her to Master Tengen so that he may use her as a vessel and carry on his immortality. But a fair warning was also placed, for the two enemy groups were also after the vessel. Following this debriefing, both Gojo and Geto head out to pick up the vessel, but as expected, enemy gang Q was already on the move. An explosion occurred and Riko was witnessed falling off a building. Geto immediately dashed, initiating his ability to save the girl. Meanwhile, Gojo took on the foe at hand, besting him within a matter of seconds. Following Riko's rescue, the team head back to Jujutsu High, but just outside the gates, another enemy appeared. Though this one was unlike any other, he had no cursed energy. Evading any of Gojo's senses, the assassin named Toji Fushiguro got behind him, impaling Gojo in the back. This was the first time something like this happened to Gojo. How could a man lacking any cursed energy do this? He immediately told the others to take Riko to Master Tengen while he held off his unusual foe. A devastating battle ensued, one that after the longest time had Gojo feeling anxious. Whatever move he pulled, Toji was quick to dodge. Gojo had finally met a match, and just like that, a sudden attack came, one that put Gojo down for the count. Inside, as Geto and Riko neared Tengen's domain, the former gave Riko a choice to refuse this fusion and live a life of normalcy. But this choice came too late, for a bullet was faster. Toji shot Riko in the head as Geto stood shocked. While a one-sided battle between Geto and Toji ensued, on the other hand, Gojo wasn't quite dead yet. Activating his abilities at the last second, he cheated death and made way to settle the score. Meanwhile, after besting Geto, as Toji was to head out, awaiting him was an accelerated Gojo. This time, he wasn't going easy. Their battle continued, though this time Gojo unleashed his limitless purple, erupting a massive ball of energy that took Toji to his doom. And just like that, the battle ends. Following this battle, he heads inside and retrieves Riko's body. Seeing the men of faith talk about Riko as no more than a tool for Master Tengen, Gojo thought of killing them. Killing these lowly humans was his initial reaction, given his lifelong superiority complex, but Geto halted him from making any irrational decisions. Little did anyone know how devastating of an effect it had on Geto. For someone who wanted to protect one's born without power, he, for the first time, saw their true nature. For these people saw jujitsu sorcerers as nothing more than tools for their amusement, and just like that, something changed. A year later, Gojo would hear news about his friend Geto slaying an entire village, including his own parents, and fleeing. Unable to process this, he immediately tracked Geto down, questioning him about his actions. This time, their beliefs had shifted. Geto wanted nothing more than to slay every non-sorcerer, while Gojo couldn't let him. Neither could he bring himself to kill his best friend, and so Geto left, destined to meet again. Sometime later, Gojo comes across a peculiar case of a boy named Yuta who possesses a mighty curse that protects him. and this curse is so strong that even Gojo fears its release. Given the danger it poses, the higher-ups order the Jujutsu sorcerer to find and eliminate this threat. However, Gojo being Gojo offers him a position as Jujutsu High. He introduces little Yuta to his new team, Maki Zenin, Panda, and Toge Inumaki. Just as the boy sets foot in the room, an ominous aura emanates, one that envelops everyone in fear. It is then that Rika, the curse, makes her appearance. Gojo explains how as a child, Yuta's childhood friend Rika died in a car accident, only to emerge as a curse and latch herself onto him. This curse of immense energy protected Yuta from anyone who dared cross him. Gojo takes it upon himself to nurse this boy's latent potential and make him an outstanding Jujutsu sorcerer. For someone as aloof as him, Gojo took his job as a teacher rather seriously, but it seems the higher-ups aren't in the same boat. They still want Yuta to be executed. Upon Gojo's request, they allow his training to continue, but also with a threat to execute him if anything goes sideways. That proves a little bit of a mistake. Gojo doesn't like threats, so in a very badass manner, he looks them in the eye and speaks that if it comes to that, he'll side with Yuta. Yeah, no one messes with his students. Amidst all this character development, a familiar face came once more. Geto was finally making a move. One sudden way, Gojo witnessed as his once ally barges into Jujutsu High along with his newfound pals, bringing with him an invitation / a threat. On December 24th, he'll release an army of 1,000 curses on Japan that will eradicate all non-sorcerers. This marvelous night will be dubbed as the Night Parade of 100 Demons. Hence, on the night of December 24th, both parties get ready. On one side, Gojo is leading an army of Jujutsu sorcerers, while on the other side there is Geto's cursed army. The colossal battle ensues, Geto nowhere to be seen. Gojo engages with the enemy hired gun, Miguel, delivering him a very one-sided ass-whooping. Despite his lightning-fast reflexes and strong curse techniques, all was but a loss against the might of Satoru. Even without using the Limitless, just the pummeling from his bare fists is enough to put Miguel out of commission. Following this victory, the attack comes to a halt. Gojo heads to check on Geto, who was actually after Yuta all along, but despite his intentions, Yuta's curse proved too strong for him to handle. As Geto escapes, his arm severed and bleeding out, Gojo appears before him. Once friends, the two converse for a moment, following which Gojo delivers the ending slash. And with this, the real Geto meets his end, that too at the hands of the man he cherished most. Such is the curse most twisted of all, life. Following this whole ordeal, Yuta manages to lift the curse from Rika. Rika was never the curse, it was Yuta himself who, unable to process his beloved passing away, initiated this and transformed her into a curse. With this also comes the revelation that Yuta is a distant relative of Gojo's, which also explains the immensely strong curse. Rika passes on to the afterlife while Yuta heads out to train with Miguel. Gojo, on the other hand, carries the burden of his acts upon his shoulders and marches on with life. The guilt of ending his best friend might as well stay with him forever, but some decisions aren't for one to make. Some decisions have to be taken for the betterment of all. Still, unwavering in his resolve to protect the weak, he continues his role as a teacher, finding new talents in the field of Jujutsu that will one day surpass even him. All in all, Satoru Gojo is one marvel of a character. His journey from the high and mighty being who cared not for the powerless to a man who fought to defend all that were weak is a bloody masterpiece. It is rare that a being with such immense strength is amongst the heroes from the very beginning, especially taking in consideration his over-the-top wild nature. Well, it's a good thing he is on the good side. For Gojo's the power that keeps the evil in check, because if not for him, Geto would have succeeded in his plans long ago. Sometimes I wonder why he isn't the main character. I would have loved that. And that would be it for today. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please take a moment to drop us a like, subscribe to Anime Soreio, and ring that notification bell to be notified of any latest uploads. And while you're at it, why not share this with your otaku buddies? With that said, see you in the next one. Peace.